Alrighty everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today is part 3 of my snowplow build. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that if you so desire. If not, hey, I can't do nothing about it. But anyways, for those of you that are subscribed, thank you very much. Hope you stay subscribed. Hope my content isn't getting boring, especially if this is part 3 of the snowplow build. But anyways, all my stuff, whatever, store, blah blah blah, descriptions, that's where all the links are. Find it there if you want to do that. But anyways, talking about that thing. So first off, we're gonna go over everything basically how this thing works, what I did. I think that's what we're doing anyways. But second off, or second of all, I'm going to be actually going over detaching and attaching. So I'm actually going to take this thing, drive it, come back in, detach it, back out, come back in, and attach it. That way I'm completely pulling out of my position there and then coming back in. And then we're going to see how easy this thing is to detach and attach. So this video probably won't be as long as some of my previous videos about this thing. So we're going to kind of keep this one short. But as you've seen in last week's video, I had to re-weld, or I had to weld some stuff up front. My tire went flat. I had to fix that because I spun it off the rim. So I welded this pretty good, and that I welded a little bit more. So yeah, this should be holding a little bit better than it was. And same with this side, because this one doesn't clamp down, and my metal piece in there popped out, and that's why I'm welding this, because that only worked for about 2 minutes. And obviously that thing is still slow, but that's not going to change, because that's just how that thing was created. So we need to be okay with that. Anyways, let's get right into this video, going over everything on the plow, kind of some of the features, and then on to the detach and attach part. Hope you guys enjoy. So during the summer, one thing that I did was I added this hitch, and I didn't have a welder. So what I did is I just took these two 1/8 inch pieces of metal and I just bolted them on there. So that and the hitch itself is what's holding this on there. So some of the modifications that I've done to this thing is the wheels aren't original. These are like way wider than normal. I think they're like 12 inches wide or something, and the typical is like 8. So, and another thing I did, so I used this thing so hard that this thing broke off of the frame, and it was just loose under there. So for a long time I had used like small ratchet straps and just strapped it on there. Well, what I did then is I bolted where this gets fastened up front. I bolted this to that and that, so 2 of them on either side, and bolted them to the back, and that's what holds this to my frame. Plus it also adds a little skid plate, I guess. Not really a skid plate, but a guard, and it made it way stronger. So yeah, that's not part of the snowplow build, but it's just some things I did to add strength to this thing and keep it running till the engine blows up or something. So first off, let me put this down this thing, so I have to put that on, and being it's connected to the lights, which I like because I have a shut off switch, turn the lights on, and forward is down. So if you can tell, I mean, this thing goes down pretty slow, but when I'm plowing, you know, I'm not going to be putting it up all the way. I'm just going to be getting it up high enough, you know, and get another swipe. But I'm going to be making a 48-inch swipe. So if I make a 48-inch, you know, path and come back, you know, that's a lot of shoveling that I don't have to do. So even though this goes up and down slow, it's going to still save me a lot of time. And I figured out that this thing is pretty strong. Better shut this off so my battery doesn't die. So you obviously seen how I built the frame and how I had to change, you know, from up here to down here. So I added these, obviously. You've seen all that. I won't go too much over the plow, just kind of the idea that I had. And you know, this thing here, one thing I wouldn't mind doing is getting something that's a lot faster. Obviously it's going to be a lot more expensive, so for now I don't really care if I have this. You know, I might eventually get a small hydraulic piston, or yeah, piston and motor. The motor itself is like $250 and the piston is like $50 or something. So you're talking about $300 just for, you know, the automatic up and down, which if I did that, I could use it in the back as well for a 3-point hitch, you know, type of deal. But anyways, so I didn't really know exactly how I was going to do this. So once I was able to get to the hardware, then, you know, I saw these and they had a bunch of different sizes of these. You know, the holes are bigger, so, and then I found some that these pins fit or didn't quite fit in there, so obviously I had to redo that. And then these gate hangers were the smallest that I could find, and these are for a metal cattle gate. So then I just put that piece of metal in there, and you guys, if you watch that part, you see me bend it. So this rod through here, in order for it not to turn, because it was kind of wiggly and loose and it turned, I just welded it on there and welded it on there. So if I ever detach my plow once summer comes, I can just pull this pin and the pin on the other side, and then this pin here, and lay this thing, you know, obviously I'll put it down and then lay it down, you know, however. And then all I have to do here is just unplug it. So what I did is I got a 2-prong cord end and put it in there for this. So all I got to do is unplug it, you know, and then this cord I can unplug on the inside. I'll show you that. But yeah, it's a pretty simple, you know, easy detach. I hadn't intended on using this as a small bulldozer, but if I have to, I can. You know, if I, you know, do some tilling or something in the yard and I want to grade it a little bit, I can use this to smooth it out and grade it however I want to. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. But anyways, so this cord, I just bought that cord, you know, and then on this end from the switch, I have another 2-prong connection. You know, quick, easy detach. And then I had to redo my light down there because the connector had melted to the muffler and my lights didn't work. So with all that, you know, I kind of showed how I put that goes to the ground, you know, and all my connections are made there, and then that just closes, you know, and then down, up. And I had to add that switch. This switch was about $10. So altogether, you know, with the switch, the piston, all the metal pieces, the hangers and the U-bolts, I already had this metal. I had this metal, all the screws. and all the wood. And a lot of the screws that I used on here, I was able to get out of these this scrap lumber. So I didn't use too many of my screws that I had bought. And then that metal piece down there. So altogether, what I spent to build this, basically just, you know, if I wouldn't have been too concerned about the easy part, you know, I could have done away with the gate hangers and just drilled holes in the board and, you know, built this thing onto the riding mower. And then if I wanted to remove it, all I would have had to do is remove the guard for easy removal. But I wanted to do an easy route. Like, I could have literally done this thing no cost, free, and, you know, just had a string to lift the blade up. But I wanted it to do where I didn't have to do any work. So altogether I spent like 130 bucks with everything and the wiring, you know, all that. So I did spend a little bit of money, but I was able to build it exactly how I wanted it. Easy, detach, attach, up and down. You know, it's a little slow, but hey, it works. And I have, with this piston, I have very good down pressure. I mean, I can almost lift the front of my tractor, but this thing doesn't extend that far. So that part I really like, you know, and it doesn't put a lot of pressure on my piston because of my guard. This guard, you know, is fairly springy. I had to bend it back, so that's pretty springy. So detaching it here, I'm gonna go over everything, show you how easy it is. So first off, you're gonna wanna unplug this, turn the power off, and unplug that. Stuff that back in there. Unwind. Put that there. Obviously, I want to get a little better key for this because maybe a more of a different pin, because that's not going to work very good for quick removal all the time, because I'll have to always get something like this and pull it out. Lay that in there. Pop this pin in there. We won't go over that. We'll just leave that right like that. If it stays, and then there we pull that. You can just lay it there if you want. Everything can just lay there. So far it's been pretty simple. Obviously, next time I'll probably leave this plugged in so I can lower that. But yeah, like that, and you can lay it down. And that should stay. If you angle the weight, that should stay right there. So there we have it, attached or detached. That was pretty quick. I'm gonna go out, come around, pull in, attach. So I just pulled in here as close as I could, and you know, it doesn't make that big of a difference which way you pull in, but you know, pretty simple, pretty quick. I'll show you here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually attach that, because it's going to be a lot simpler when doing this one first, since I can manipulate everything a little bit better. But, see there, you know, if I had a pin like there, then now step 2. So all you gotta do, hold it up. It's not heavy at all, pretty light. Now step 3. So when you do that side, this side pretty well lines up. So all you gotta do is stand here, push in, voila. Now on to the last step. That is plugging it in. So you grab the cord, plug it in, make sure it's tight, and you're good to go. So you guys saw how simple it was to hook this thing up. I don't think, I have yet to find a riding mower plow that hooks up this easy. There's literally 3 points of contact, 3 pins, and a frickin' cord plug, and that is it. It's so simple. If this thing would go up and down fast, this would be the fastest, most efficient snowplow you could find. Made from scrap lumber. I like that one. You betcha. Now if I made this out of metal, got a faster piston, we'd be set. I would have some fast efficiency out the door, hitting the snow drifts, getting stuff done. No, this is more of having fun and just kind of showing you some of the dumb stuff, crazy ideas I come up with. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here for another crazy episode. Peace out.